Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live this week. My name's Mandy Witherby and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Say hi as you're jumping on. It's great to have you here with me this week. I'm a few minutes late, only 6 minutes late today, so that's pretty good. Just racing around getting everything ready for you all. So say hi as you're jumping on so I know that you're here. And while I'm waiting, I'll just bring up this live on my iPad so I can see all of your comments. So just give me a moment while I do that. And I've got everything charged today, so everything should be good. Okay. Hi Sharon. Hi Wendy. Thank you for joining me today, ladies. Okay, there we go. Great. Good. Hi Chitska, great to see you. Hi Tracy. Oh, we've got a few jumping on. That's fantastic. How's everyone's week been since I saw you last? Let me know how you're going, what you've been up to, how you've been keeping busy. I actually took a day off on Sunday, which was yesterday. Yes, it seems like so long ago already. Yeah, I took a day off and just had a bit of chill time. I actually spent some chill time, just not doing too much, just resting, relaxing. Then in the afternoon, I decided to do a bit of a tidy. And I went through all of my multiple crates of, unfinished products or unfinished projects, I should say. Also too, I often, if I die cut or I stamp something and then I decide not to use it, I'll put it aside in a crate and think, oh, I'll keep that. I might use it on another project. So I had many little containers of all of these things. Hi, Athena. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, so I had many crates of all of these little bits and pieces. So I actually went through and sorted them all out yesterday. It took me about 5 or 6 hours to go through them all, sort them all out, put away cardstock that I had left out or scraps of cardstock that are still usable, and sorted that all out. Old designer series paper, things like that. So it just took hours, but now I have culminated it down to one crate, which, where is that? I had that. Oh, here it is. I'll show you. And it's very organized. So now I've got it down to one little crate, and I've got little sandwich bags and little cello envelopes, just with all my little bits and pieces, like little flowers that I've made and different things I've made ready for projects. I've got some ideas in there, some kits that I never finished, or where I had made up additional kits and never used them. So all of that is all in there, pre-punched things. I've got embossed pieces that I haven't used. See, that's got the scripty font. You probably can't see it. It's quite faint on that color. Yeah, so lots and lots. Yes. So I thought I need to start going through that crate and start using up some of those things, or giving them away so that other people can use them. Let me just pop that back away. Yeah, because sometimes we do that, don't we? We start on a project and then it goes in a completely different direction. Hence my project today, actually. That happened today with my project, so I'll show you that shortly. Who else have we got? Oh, you did the same yesterday, Sharon. Awesome. We must have been on the same wavelength. Yeah, it's a good thing to do, Athena, getting it all organized. And I've just got one other crate left in here, or one other little tote in here that I've been working on, but they're projects that I have actually been working on as such. So even though there's bits and pieces in there, I'm still working with that. So once I finish or I run out of time, I need to really give myself a time limit, I think, and say, right, if I haven't done it by this time, put it in my UFO crate and set it aside for another time, and then get all my products away on the shelves. So you might notice I've been doing a bit of reorganization up there with my stamp sets, so I've set aside. Hi Glenda, great to see you. Thanks for joining me today. So yeah, I've set aside all my retiring stamp sets and dies. Haven't yet gone through, I can't remember if we did the embossing folders. Haven't done the embossing folders, I don't think. I've pulled out all the in colors. I need to still do all the ribbons and embellishments and things like that. And the punches, I've got them all set aside as well. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Ready for all the new products from the new catalog. Very exciting. Okay, so I'll just jump into the news. Thank you all for being here today. It's great to have you all along. I've got a lovely 3D project today to share with you rather than a card. I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and we're going to be using some of those products that are retiring, some of which have been reduced. So hang in with me until I get to that, and I'll give you more information. So how many of you saw the promotion, and I posted about it, and a lot of other demonstrators have posted about it, for the COVID-19 Give Back product? Have you seen that? If not, have a look back in on my business page where you've come for my live. If you scroll back down through that, you'll see a few days ago I promoted that. So with that, what it is, it's a downloadable. It's like a what do you call it? A digital stamp set, basically, with a whole heap of COVID-19 related phrases, sayings, little images. There's even toilet paper there, all sorts of things like that. Some of them are fun ones, some of them are serious ones. So take a look, it's really great. And with that, 100% of the proceeds are going to COVID-19 efforts or organizations that are researching and helping people with the COVID-19 crisis. So it's a downloadable PDF. Oh yes, awesome, Wendy. Yeah, there have been heaps of great fun cards. I've used a few of the sentiments, mainly for the insides of my cards, because I already had a lot of cards made ready to go out, so I've been using a lot of them for the inside sentiments, but I'm excited to start using some and creating an actual project with them as well for on the front. Hi Julie, great to see you. Yeah, so have a look for that. It's really great. It's only $12 US, so it's charged in US, and then your banking institution will actually do the conversion, and it works out to around about $18 depending on the actual rate on the day. And as we know, everything changes every day at the moment. So works out to about $18 Australian. So yeah, check it out. It's really great. There's lots of fun sentiments in there, and you can access that through my online store. So if you go to my blog, Mandy's Papercraft Creations.blogspot.com, and you'll see that when I flip the camera down, and click on the shop tab on the top left hand side, and that'll take you through to my shop page. And then at the top you'll see an advertisement for it, and then you just click on that. Oh, for your journaling, Sharon, that's a great idea. Yeah, awesome, fantastic. Yeah, so you can use it in your journaling and your scrapbooking, because this is historical. This is a historical time. So of course, anything that you're recording historically, your scrapbooking, your journals and things like that, you can use these in there as well, which is a great idea. Thanks for that idea, Sharon. That's perfect. Yeah, so go there and check it out. Have a look. It's really fantastic. Now, don't forget too about all of the last chance products, all the beautiful retiring products. I'm going to show you a few today that we're going to be working with, but there are so many there, and there's some reductions, some fantastic reductions, a lot that have been reduced, and there's a whole heap there that are going quickly too. So don't wait, because some have already sold out and gone, and they won't be returning because they've actually retired those products, ready for the brand new products that are coming in soon. So check that out as well. You can find that as well on my online store. So look for the last chance product advertisement on my online store, and just click on that, and that'll give you a whole range of all the products that are retiring. So remember too about the in colors. We talked about those and I played with those with you all last week, and I made that lovely card last week. All those all those in colors for 2018 to 2020 in colors are going to be gone very soon. In fact, some of them have already started to sell out. So if you loved those and you wanted to get the collection of all of those, go and grab them straight away. Now, last week when I was filming my Facebook Live, guess what arrived? It was very exciting. Ta-da! The beautiful new annual catalog. It's so pretty. And I can't show you the inside yet. Very soon I will be able to, next month when it goes live. But just yet I can't show you the inside. But that's the gorgeous cover. I have already ordered some for my customers that have purchased with me in the last 6 months, and anybody else who has requested a copy. So if you don't already have a demonstrator that you're working with and you would like a copy of this beautiful new annual catalog, let me know and I'd love to get one out to you. Because I am ordering some more as well. Even though I've done one order of them, I will be ordering some more. Hi Jenny, great to see you. Yes, we are all well, thank you. We're doing well, yeah. Hi Danielle, great to see you too. Yes, yeah, oh yes. This well, this is only part of my wish list actually. There's many, and there's quite a few there. They're all bunched up together. That's only part of my wish list. The rest of my wish list is written out by hand. They're additional, additional to my actual wish list. It's my wish list on my wish list. And no doubt it's going to grow. I find that as soon as I see people starting to use product, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that. I have to have that now. So it'll keep growing. I'll start getting that into my little book. I have a little book where I write all my wish list, and all those additional things will become part of that book as well. Now, talking about the brand new catalog, it will go live on the 3rd of June. Just double checking, it is the 3rd. Yes, it is the 3rd of June. I had a moment there. I had a few of those today. I think I've got too much in my head. 3rd of June for our customers. But demonstrators have a pre-order starting tomorrow. So we can start ordering some of those beautiful new products tomorrow. So this is a great time to join with Stampin' Up, because when you join, as of tomorrow, you can start ordering some of those brand new products in your starter kit. And remember, I always tell you, the starter kit is only $169, but you get to choose $235 worth of product of your own choice in your starter kit. So you get that additional $66 for free, and you get free shipping on that starter kit. And then from there on, you'll get 20% discount on all of your crafting purchases. So what, you can't ask for more than that. There's so many other benefits as well. We get lots of added bonuses, and there's a point system as well for all your sales. You can earn points and then you can redeem that for demonstrator only product, or convert it to product credit so you can get more free product. So many benefits, and we have so much fun on my team, and all the ladies on my team are so beautiful, and we formed beautiful friendships together, and I'd love to have you on my team. So if you don't already have a demonstrator that you're working with and you like the sound of that, let me know if you'd like some more information, and I can give you some more information, and then you can get these beautiful new products from tomorrow, and you don't have to wait until next month. And then you can get them at a discount too and not pay full price, which is the best thing about it all. And just to let you know too, some people get worried that if they join Stampin' Up, they're going to have to sell to people, and they don't want to do that. You certainly do not have to do that. You can just purchase the products for yourself. There's no lock-in contracts. If you decide after a little bit that it's not really for you and you don't want to get that discount anymore, no problem. You can just go back to being my customer. It's that easy. So if you need more information, let me know. But can you tell how excited I am? Like, I can't wait until tomorrow when we can get our hands on those products and I can put in my first order from this beautiful new catalog. So I'd love for all of you to be able to do that too. Yes, it is, isn't it? Wendy, beautiful wattle, Australian wattle on the front of this catalogue. Now, for those of you that don't know, Stampin' Up is actually an American company. So for there to be wattle on there, Australian wattle, that is really, really special. And you can see you might have a bit of a sneak peek. If you look closely, you'll see a bit of a sneak peek of some of the new products there. So very exciting. Of course, they don't give away too much on the front cover, but there's just a little sneak peek, a little teaser there. Hi Fee, great to see you. Can you tell how excited I am about the new catalogue? I can't wait until we can order from it tomorrow. So exciting. Okay, so I wanted to also let you know about, also too, in the new catalogue, when you get it, you will find that there is not one, but 2 new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines, which is also very exciting. Hi Laurie, all the way from Ohio again. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for joining me, Laurie. Great to see you. Yes, so there's going to be 2 brand new Stampin' Emboss and Cut machines. There's going to be a regular size one and there's going to be a mini one as well. So I don't have any images that I can share with you yet, but they're coming very soon. Now they will be available to us early on in the catalogue sales period. Then they're probably not going to be ready right when the catalogue goes live next week. Next month, sorry, on the 3rd of June. They probably won't be ready right on go day, but they will be ready soon after, early on in the sales period. So we're all hanging out for those. We can't wait. They are beautiful. We've as demonstrators, we've already seen them. We've seen a demonstration of them. Well, some of us have seen a demonstration of them and a video of them. They're amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait to get the new machines. And the mini is so adorable and so portable, which is great for when if we're going anywhere, either for craft classes, or if you're traveling and you like to take your craft with you, as most of us crafters do. The little mini is portable, and so, well, both of them are portable actually, but the mini is so little that it will just pop in your backpack and you can take it with you. It's fantastic. So yes, so many things to be excited about at the moment. All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was my technique club. So my best dress class RSVP date has passed, so I'm sorry if you missed out on that one, but keep watching for my June class. So that will be coming up. But as well as that, I do have a technique club that is available still at the moment, and the RSVP and order date is by this Saturday coming. So that is the 9th. The 9th will be the last cutoff date. Excuse me, getting a frog, all my excitement. So I did put information in my business page about that, but the event is actually in my private classes and workshop group. So if you would like more information about that, certainly get in contact with me. I still have spaces available for that class. So let me know if you're interested. It's fun with the Technique Club. You're able to join any month that you like. There's no actual agreement time now. With my original Technique Club, there was a 6-month agreement. But currently, because of the situation that we're in with COVID-19, I'm just doing it month to month because some months might be a bit more difficult for people. So to help people out, I'm just running it month to month at the moment. So feel free to jump in on any month's technique that you would like to. This month we are playing with the inked embossing folder technique, including a faux patina project, so which was a lot of fun to design. So I spent so many hours on that, but it was so much fun. And so that will be part of the Technique Club. With my Technique Club, we have two full projects that we complete, plus a sample card. And I also give all the PDFs, and there's a tutorial video as well. And we do have, so I'm carrying on from the last Technique Club, or my original Technique Club. And we have a little folder, I think I showed it last week actually. We have a little notebook a technique notebook, and we use one of our 6x8 albums for that. And so each month I give everybody the consumables to make the little technique project sample. So you have a sample in your little notebook, along with all the supply lists that you need to create that technique, or to use that technique, and an instructional card as well that has all the instructions about how to create that technique. As well as that, you get the 2 full projects with PDF and video for all those 3. So if that's something that excites you, and every month is a new technique. So we've done quite a few already. We've already had 6 months, so we've done 6 different techniques, and the ladies have loved it. It's been so much fun. So let me know if you would like more information about that. One thing I will tell you though too is, if you would like to join my technique club, you do need to place a monthly order with me, which is the RSVP date this coming Saturday. Minimum of $42, and I have a specific host code just for the Technique Club, which is different to my regular host code. So you need to be part of the club or you need to be part of that club event to get that host code, and then that will put you into the club, and then yeah, we go from there. So, but anyway, if you have any more need any more details, I do have an overview PDF that I can send to you if you would like more information about what Technique Club looks like and what you can expect from Technique Club, and then we can go from there. So let me know if that interests you. And of course, that is just for Australian residents. I'm sorry, Laurie, you're in the US. Yeah, only for Australian residents, because part of that club is actual purchase in my online store. So, and I can only sell to Australian residents. So, and sorry to Shazza too, because Shazza's from New Zealand. So yeah, sadly not for New Zealand people either. But anyway, yes, so that's very exciting too. So that one is coming up. Now, I think we're ready to get on to our project. Would you like to see what we're going to make, or what I'm going to make? Feel free to craft along with me. If you've got any craft projects that you're working on, feel free to craft along with me as well. All right, let me just move this out of the way. Okay, so I haven't actually posted it yet, and I was planning to post it this week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, but a couple of weeks ago I made a beautiful little notebook for a lovely friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, and it made such a difference to her day. And I'm really thankful that she loved it so much that I thought I'd make another one today for so that I can give that to somebody else, but I'm changing it up a little bit. So I'll show you, well actually what I'll do is I'll tip the camera down first, and I'll show you the one that I did make, and then I will show you what we are going to be making today, which will be a little bit different. Same sort of along the same lines, but a little bit different. All right, so oh, you remember last week I spoke to you about my flipping of the camera and the issues with that. Well, I've spoken about it for the last few weeks. So today I tested it again, and no longer is it stretching the camera, which is awesome. But now I go into like negative mode. So I go into like not black and white, but like green and white. It's so bizarre. So I have no idea what Facebook is doing. So again, I'm going to have to do the clunky thing and remove the camera and then turn it around and put it back into the holder. So I'm sorry that I have to do it that way, but that's the only way I can do it at the moment, which is so annoying. But I don't know what Facebook are doing. So it's only with the Facebook Live, so it's really bizarre. Anyway, all right, so I'll get that ready now. Just hold on for a moment. All right, we've got that flipped over, and let me just take the camera out. Alrighty, and we'll get you hooked back in. Okay, just give me a moment. We're getting there. notes are very handy things. They come in useful for many, many things, including covering up cameras. Oh, okay, so we are up the wrong way. What are we doing? I'm not quite sure. Oh, okay. So let me, oh, what did I do? I thought I flipped it already. I must have, there we go. Okay, sorry. I think I must have touched it a second time and flipped it round the wrong way. No, I haven't, Judy, thank you, because it's actually, oh, we're upside down today. Okay, hang on, I've got to swivel you around. It's actually a Facebook thing. It's not a camera thing. Oh, I know why. I know what I did. Hang on a minute. I did it the wrong way. That's why. Sorry, 2 secs. Let me fix this for you. I actually put my camera in up the wrong way. That's what I did. Oh, this is so clunky having to do it like this. I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, that's better. There we go. We got there in the end. All right, we need to move that up and that out of the way. Just move that over. Okay, so let's get this all lined up. I'll move this out a little bit. Bring this out. Okay, so, well, we should be ready to go in just a moment. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right. Okay, how does that look? Is that looking okay? Oh, we're a long way up today. You see that okay? All right. Okay, so today we are going to be playing with, and this is my working catalogue, so you'll see all my tabs and all my little sticky notes. We're going to be playing with the Pressed Petals Suite. Now, the Pressed Petals Suite is going to be retiring. Sorry, I'll just move that light at a different angle. So it's reflecting on there. There we go. So the Pressed Petal Suite is going to be retiring, the majority of it. However, the stamp set itself is carrying over. So that is this one here. This stamp set is carrying over, but everything else in this suite is actually retiring. So some of them are reduced at the moment, so I've got them out to show you. And look at these gorgeous designer series papers. We're going to be playing with some of those today. So this is our current annual catalogue, of course, which is retiring. Now, can you see here this little notebook? I'll move that over to the center. See that little notebook? That is the one that I made for my friend. So I cased that exactly. I'll hold it up a little bit closer for you. I cased that one exactly for my friend, and it was so beautiful. It turned out really, really well. And then I decorated some of the inside pages for her as well. But I haven't posted up the photo of it yet because I've had lots of other things to be posting in the last week. So we're going to do a take on that one today, but we're going to change it up, and this one's going to be a pink one, not a blue one. We're going to use some of the pink and copper elements from this suite. So let me show you. I'll just move this aside. I'll show you some of the products, and I'll tell you the prices on them. So first of all, this is the designer series paper. So it's the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper. Now you'll see that mine is all chopped up because I love this paper and I've used quite a bit of it. And you get all the different colors, and of course they're all double-sided. As you know, Stampin' Up papers are always double-sided. Oh, that's the same as that one. And this one's a specialty paper, so it's a lightweight paper. But you've got the pinks and the blues, you've got the beautiful Hessian look. So you've got lots of different colors, the greens in there, and you've got these panels as well that come in a 12 by 12 sheet, and there'll be all different ones. You can see there's a few other different ones in there too, and you can actually cut them up to use them in different ways. So we're going to be using one of these ones today, and on the back is just music sheet paper. Now that is reduced at the moment to $18.75. It was $25 and now it's $18.75. So you will find that in the last chance products on my page, on my online shop. Now the little journal that we're going to be using, they come like this in shrink wrap, and then they've got the label on the back. So that's the Pressed Petals journal. Now they are currently, they're on special as well. Sorry, I'll just grab my other one. They're only $8.43. They're a lovely little journal. I'll tell you the size. I don't actually have the size written down, but I'll tell you the front cover size. So it's just over 12 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And the one we're going to be using today, I've got opened up already. So I will show you the inside of that. So yeah, so these are currently on special for $8.43. So very inexpensive, and they're really, really beautiful. So they've got this gorgeous, I'll just bring that camera back over so you can see, they've got this gorgeous embossed cover front and back. It's very lightly embossed. Not sure if you can, oh yeah, I think you can see that on camera. And then on the inside, I'll lay it down so it's a bit more still. There's just little sentiments on each page. The secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. Grateful for small things, big things, and everything in between. And you can see some of the pages are already partially decorated, and then you can add to that as well. And it's a great little gratitude journal, or you could use it as a prayer journal, you could use it as a little notebook. Each page is perforated, so you can tear them out if you want to. Today I am grateful, and then you could write there the things that you're grateful for. Find the beauty in the everyday moments. Today I am grateful. And then they repeat again several times over. I'm not sure how many total pages are actually in here, but there's quite a few. But it's just a lovely little journal that you can use as a gratitude journal, or anything where we can be thinking about, you know, the positives, especially at the moment. So it's important to be focusing on those positive things at the moment with all of this coronavirus around us, and you know, all the worrying times and stress we've been going through. It's great to have something like this that we can focus on to help us focus on the positives. All right, so that's the little book. Now we're also going to be using the ribbon, and this ribbon is the gathered ribbon in the Rococo Rose and Copper. Now this one is actually going to be carried over as well. This one isn't retiring, thankfully, because I love this. It's so beautiful with the copper through the center and the Rococo Rose along the edges. So absolutely beautiful. And I'll just check to see if I've missed any comments. Feel free to ask me any questions as we're going along. Yeah, it's a great idea, Judy. They're a really beautiful little journal, and you can decorate them in all sorts of ways for people and make them really beautiful. So that one is returning. So it's carrying over with the stamp set, which is this one here, Path of Petals stamp set. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, and you'll see mine has been well used. And there's some gorgeous sentiments in here, as well as these floral and leafy images which overlay, like they sort of nest inside of each other. That's why they're kind of that shape. They nest within each other, and you get beautiful stamped images with those ones. So I'm glad that one's carrying over. It's got some gorgeous, gorgeous sentiments in that one. Now the coordinating dies are there. Let me grab the right ones. these are not carrying over. This is the Petal label dies, and these ones are really beautiful. We're going to be using a couple of these ones. These are really beautiful dies, and you've got these gorgeous intricate designs as well, and then you've got an oval shape, just a plain oval shape that fits inside of this label one here if you wanted to use that as well. So we're going to be using those two smaller ones today, so I'll leave those out. We are also, so I'll keep going through the Suite products. There was something else I was going to show you that is retiring as well. Oh, I didn't give you the price on that one. So this die set, it is reduced down to $33.75. It was $45, so it's quite a good saving on that one. Again, if you need the name, it's called the Petal label dies. So look out for that one as well. Then we've got these gorgeous embellishments, and you'll see I've already used some. These are the designer elements. They are also retiring, and they've been reduced as well. They're currently only $9.18. They were $12.25, so it's quite a few dollars saving on those. And they come in the gold, silver, and copper. So depending on the colors that you're working with as to which color you would like to use. And they've got this really cool design on them. Then we have the beautiful Pressed Petals Specialty Washi Tape. Now there are two washi tapes in this one. They come as a combo. This one is like an antique looking, distressed looking one, which is really cool. And this one is really special. These are all little flower petals. Now I don't know if you remember a long time ago when this first came out, so nearly 12 months ago probably, I did do a demonstration of these. So each of these little petals comes off, and they're a washi tape, so they're only very fine, but you can put them onto cardstock if you want to, and you layer them together to make these gorgeous little flowers. And then I've just used some of our little flower centers to go in those, so we're going to be using one of those today. And I've got a couple of tips about putting those together as well. So with this one, I just put them onto a circle of cardstock. So probably you could do a larger circle than that as well with one of our circle dies, or if you have any of the circle punches. Some of our circle punches are actually retiring as well. The 1/2 inch and the inch, and what was the other one? They're the plain circles, and a couple of the other circle, the scalloped edge ones are retiring as well. But yeah, if you put a circle of those on the back and then you can lay the petals on there, it helps to hold them all together. But I have another trick as well, which I'll show you when we do it. And they are reduced now to, they come together and they're reduced now to $7.80. They were $13. So $7.80, and they come together like that. And I think somebody counted these on the roll, and I can't remember how many there were, but there was an awful lot of petals, which you'd get. I think I used 6 petals per flower. So you get a lot of flowers out of that. Okay, and then we have, what else do we have? So I've done the designer series paper, the ribbon. What else did I miss in the suite? Is that everything? I think that's it in the suite. Oh, the other thing was the Scripty 3D embossing folder. I'm not using that one today, but that one is carrying over. That was from this suite as well. Or you can purchase it separately, of course. Any of these products can be purchased separately. But the Scripty is, it's carrying over as well. So that's all good. So yep, we did all of those products. Beautiful. Okay. So now you know what we're going to be making. I was also going to be using, well, I will be actually, I'm going to be using a sentiment from Country Home. This one is carrying over as well. So this one won't be on the Last Chance products because this one's carrying over, but we're just going to use part of a sentiment from that one. And I love this stamp set. And this stamp set is actually going to be used in my Technique Club. So just a little hint. So that one's carrying over. But this one I was also going to use, but then I changed my my direction. But I thought I'd still show you it anyway, because this has been one of mine and Amber's favorite die sets, and we've used these labels a lot. This is the stitched label framelit dies, and this one is retiring as well. So if you love this one, then make sure to grab it. It's got these gorgeous stitched intricate labels, and then we've got some other labels there. These circles are fantastic, and you've got a little heart, and then you've got some edging as well, some stitched edging, straight stitch and cross stitch edging as well. So look out for that one as well. That's the stitched label framelit dies. If you are shopping in my online store, this is my current host code here. Sorry, I don't have my pretty little label printed out yet. It was a bit of an afterthought. I realized just before I went live that I hadn't printed it yet. Oh, I forgot, actually, there's another die in here. It's come off the back. This one here, which is a cross stitch pattern, which doesn't cut out, but it cuts out the little, it doesn't cut out the edge, like it won't cut out an actual piece, but it will die cut into a panel of cardstock, that cross stitch. So does that make sense? It doesn't actually cut out around the edge there, but it will imprint that cross stitch into your cardstock. So that one should live on the back here on my magnetic sheet. Okay. So they are all the products that we're going to be playing with. And let me just bring in my little, okay, so this is my little book. Let me make sure I've got it up the right way. Yep. So again, remember they're $8.43. I'll put the code up for the book for you now, actually, because I saw, Judy, that you wanted to have it. So let me just put it up for you. Pressed Petals Journal, and the code is 149. Excuse my arms in the way while I'm typing. 9588 149588. There we go. So that's just popped up in the comments for you if you want to get some of these little journals. Okay, so I am going to start, well, I did already start actually with this panel here. So what I did is I just cut this in half. I'm going to move my little book over. And again, this is from the Designer Series paper pack that I just showed you. So I just cut that there, and we're just using that panel there. Now I've done a few of the steps already just to save time, because some of the other steps will be a little bit fiddly. So let me just bring that in. So then what I did, let me just cut this one actually. All right, so we've got that panel. Now I wanted to do some distressing on this one. I love distressing. It's one of my favorite techniques. And so I wanted to distress. So what I did, rather than just stick that onto there, I decided, no, I want to tear this. So I tore around the tearing. I love to. I tore around the image there, as you can see, and I did go in and out of the ferns there, but you could just go around if you wanted to. So when you're tearing, the best thing to do is to tear towards yourself. I won't tear this one because I'm not sure how I'm going to use it yet, but if you tear towards yourself, you get this lovely edge like that. And then what I did is I pulled out my Rococo Rose ink and one of my trusty little daubers, which is another one of my favorite techniques, and I basically just daubered around the edge, around all of the edges, to get that lovely pink edge there that just defines the edge a little bit and just gives a bit more distressing. Otherwise, if you don't ink around the edge, you will have that stark white torn edge. You might even like to use one of our brown, some soft suede or some early espresso, perhaps even some crumb cake around the edges, but I'm going with a pink theme today. So I'll pop that to the side. Then what I did is I cut a piece of this designer series paper, which is also from the pack. And let's have a look what's on the other side. What's on the other side? Beautiful flowers that coordinate with this one. On the back of that one is the music paper, as I showed you before. So I then decided to distress the edges of this one too, because being that this part is distressed, then you want to follow that theme through, because if this was just straight edged and this was distressed, it might look a little bit odd. So followed that through. So I've done 3 edges, but I left one edge to show you how to do this. Now, we used to have a distressing tool. Stampin' Up used to carry one, but we don't have one anymore, but you can still distress with a pair of paper snips. Now, just be really careful because they are very sharp, and I do suggest, I don't have any, oh, I've got some, I'll just use, hang on a minute, let me grab some scrap paper. I'm going to my scrap bin. Well, this one will do. Because when you do this technique, it can make a little bit of a mess. So what you do is you hold your paper and you just drag the blade of your scissors along the paper. Makes a terrible sound, but until it starts, and it doesn't matter if it cuts a little bit like that too, because that adds to the look. So you're basically just roughing up the edge of your paper. And you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but there are little bits of paper that are dropping down onto the desk. So that's why it's always good either to do it over a rubbish bin or over some scrap paper or another container or something like that. And then sometimes it's hard to get into the edges. Just be careful with your scissors that you don't cut yourself, and see how I'm holding the scissors not on the blade so that I don't cut my fingers. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then if you want to crinkle up the edges, you can crinkle up the edges. Just make it nice and distressed so that it's, you know, we want that look. We want that distressed look. I'll curl up those edges a little bit. So you can go as hard or as light with that as you like. I'm quite happy with that. That matches in with all the other sides. Then I'll just give it a little brush off in case there's any extra loose fibers there. And then again, we come in with our dauber, and I'm using the same color again, just the Rococo Rose. And then I'm just, with the dauber, just going along the edge like that. When you're doing this, it's a good idea just to use a corner of your ink pad, just in case any of those fibers do come off onto your dauber and back onto your ink pad. Ask me how I know. All right, and then that just gives you that distressed edge, and I've already done all the other edges. Okay, so that's that piece done. All right, so let's just get rid of all those fibers and put that back into the bin. All right, so we are going to have this piece on the bottom, and then we're going to have that piece over the top. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to adhere this one to the front cover. Now you might say, oh, that's really sad though, because you're covering up all the embossing on the beautiful cover. But guess what? The back is embossed as well. So all good there. All right. So I'm going to use some tear and tape because I want this to adhere really well. And because this is embossed, it's not a completely flat surface. So I want that to grip really well. So I'm going to use some tear and tape to adhere onto the back there. Okay, and I need my other snips. I have a separate pair of snips. You notice these ones are labeled tape and they have a tassel because I wouldn't use the same paper scissors on my tape. Who would do that? We don't want our good scissors getting all sticky. Let me just move that away for a minute. Okay, and then we pop this down. So I hope that you'll get a bit of inspiration with this today, and perhaps even if you're not making these notebooks, if you're making some other sort of little gift like that, that you can give to somebody to brighten their day, to share that sunshine and, you know, just help other people through this period of isolation. It's quite difficult for a lot of people, especially if they're used to being really social and they're suddenly, you know, quite isolated. All right, so then we'll just get this adhered really well. Now, because this paper is quite thin as well, I'm not sure how the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue would go with it, because it's quite a bit lighter weight than our ordinary cardstock, our ordinary designer series paper, sorry. So I'm not sure if it would sort of show through where you've glued it or not. So I prefer to use the tear and tape, but that's completely up to you. All right, now we are going to use some of our gorgeous ribbon. So I've got some of this beautiful ribbon here, and I'm just going to put it along the edge. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use some of our mini glue dots. So if you don't have mini glue dots, you need them. They are a must, I think, in your kit. They are awesome. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a couple of glue dots just underneath the ribbon here, on the back of the ribbon, and I'm just pressing the glue dot to, I'm pressing the ribbon, sorry, to the roll to pick up those glue dots, just so that I can hold it in place as I adhere it down, okay? And this is just going to go about here. All right, we just want that to stay still there. And then we're going to flip it over, and we're just going to wrap these around like that, okay? So we'll add some more glue dots. I'm going to add a few. Now this ribbon is sort of a bit ruched as well, so it's not a flat ribbon. So make sure you use plenty of glue dots, or if you're using tear and tape, use plenty of tear and tape so that it will stay put. We don't want it coming apart anywhere. Okay, and that'll be, let me just see the length of that. Yep, that'll be good. Oh, that's already stuck down. Awesome. All right, I'll put one more glue dot under the end there. Oop. Come on, little glue dot. There we go. And just overlap that back on itself. All right, so that it looks nice and neat. Okay, so we've got that bit there. Good thing too about glue dots is they are a bit pliable. So if it looks like it's a little bit wonky, you can actually move it over a bit. Mine's just a little bit wonky there. All right, beautiful. So that is there. Now, let me see. Yep, I've got a little, well, not hole, but a little spot here in between the glue dots that I can get my finger under. So what I'm going to do is I have a shorter piece of ribbon here, and I'm going to just tuck that under, and I'm going to tie this in a knot. Now, if you wanted to as well, another thing you could do is you could tie some ribbon to the coils. That would look beautiful as well. I just want to tie a little bow there like that. And then I'm going to pop a glue dot under there. I'm just going to use my take your pick tool this time to pick that up off the roll. So just pick that up off onto my glue dot and just pop that underneath that bow so that bow stays put and doesn't come undone. There we go. So we've got our little bow. All right, now we've got this piece as well that I've already torn, as I said before, and I've already distressed the edges. So I'm going to pop that down, and again, I'm just going to adhere that flat. So I'll use a little bit of tape again for this one, and we just put a few little bits of tape down. Now this is tear and tape. Yes, you can tear it. I will show you, it does tear quite well. See, you can just tear it. I'm just a tape cutter. I've always been a tape cutter. So, but if you want to just tear it, that's fine. Feel free to go ahead and tear it. Oh, thanks, Wendy. I just thought it was another take on, you know, on my original one, or the one that I'd cased out of the catalogue, and just utilising the other colours that are within this suite. And it gave me an opportunity to do some distressing, so which is always awesome. I haven't done any in a while, so it was really good. Okay, so then we're just going to adhere that down, and you can decide at what angle you sort of want that to go. I'm going to kind of put it that way and just slip it under the little bow there. All right, so I'm just having it at a bit of an angle so it's not dead straight. Yes, me too, Wendy. It's my favorite. Yeah. Okay, now I have one of these little flowers made. Now this one, you might notice, I'm not sure if you can tell in the camera, but this one is a bit more rigid than this one. This one is a lot softer and pliable because what I've done on this one is I've actually created it using one of our punches. Oh, and I didn't pull it off my shelf. Let me grab it off the shelf and I'll show you. Oh, before I do that, I'll put away my ink because I don't want to get ink everywhere. Okay, so I am using, and I don't even have the name of the punch ready for you. Let me look it up. I forget the name of it. There's so many of them. Where are my punches? Okay. It is the perennial flower punch. So this goes actually with the perennial flower suite, but you can use it to create these flowers. So what I did is I punched out 2 of those flowers just in white cardstock, Whisper white cardstock, or you can use whatever color you like. And then each one of those petals from this washi tape, you pull those off one at a time and you lay them on. I'll do one up this way so you can see, and you lay it on top of the flower and it just helps you to put it together. And then you do need to just overlap them a little bit in the middle. So you do 2 of those and then you lay them together. Let's take that gently back off. And then you lay them together and then I just popped a little center in the middle. So that's as easy as that was to put together. So I love these little petals. They're great. If you want to have a play with these, if you don't have any yet, I highly recommend you grabbing those, and you get this awesome distressed looking washi tape as well, which you can also use on your journal, in your cards, wherever. So, okay, so we're going to be using one of those flowers, and I'm going to use the more sturdy one. And I went ahead and I die cut, because I was a little bit prepared today, unlike some weeks where I'm creating on the fly. So I went ahead with my petal label dies and I die cut this little one here. I die cut that one already out of some copper foil sheet. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's very true, Wendy. Yeah, so this original one I made is very, very soft and floppy. And the other thing is too, because it's washi tape, they're sticky on the back. So if you're using it just like that, which you can do, or use a 1-inch circle on the back, which will give it a bit more stability, you'll still have those sticky edges. So what you can do is you can grab your embossing buddy, and on the back of those petals, you can just dab your embossing buddy. Obviously, before you put the center on, you dab your embossing buddy on the back and it takes off most of that sticky. In fact, it'll take off all of it pretty much, and then it won't be sticky, so it won't be adhering to other things. And then you can adhere your flower using that. You put your adhesive onto the cardstock rather than onto the flower, and then you'll have a stronger adhesion to your project. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've die cut our beautiful little label from some copper foil sheet. Okay, so I know that I'm probably going to have that down here, but I haven't yet done my sentiment, so I was going to do that part with you all. And I've got my flower there ready to go. My flower is probably going to go up there. I'm still deciding on the final placement. Oh, good, that made sense. Awesome. Thanks, Wendy. Okay, so, whoops, let me just move these out of the way. Got that one and that one ready to go. Now, my sentiment. I've got some, I grabbed out some coordinating cardstock, and I'm using up some of my scraps today. So when you're stamping your sentiments and things like that, it's a great time to be using up all your scraps. So when you are creating your projects, don't throw away your scraps. Keep them and use them. We are using scraps all the time, especially for our sentiments, for any small punched shapes or labels, things like that. Even the copper foil, that came, I can't find the, there it is. That came from a scrap of copper foil that I had. And yeah, it was just a perfect size. So never throw away your scraps. All right, so I'm going to be starting with this one. And let me just go back. Sorry, I'll just go back to the right page. So where were we? Now I've lost the page that I was on. There we go. Yep. All right. So we're going to be using sentiments from 2 different stamp sets. So we're going to be using the word grateful from this one. So we're going to be using this stamp, but we're going to mask off these other words on that stamp set, or on that stamp, sorry. And then we're also going to be using this one as well, and we're going to be masking off some of those words as well. So I will show you how to do that now. Let me just grab out my stamp. I haven't yet mounted this one up. So we want grateful. There it is. Turn that up that way. All right, so we'll just mount that onto our block. Now we need to, I've just grabbed some old retired washi tape. This is old Stampin' Up retired washi tape, which is a thinner washi tape. Actually, both of these, yes, they're the same width. It's a thinner washi tape, which is great when you're doing masking of stamps. So I'll just pop that aside. Find the end there. And we just want the word grateful. So we just want that word there. So what we're going to do is we're going to mask off the rest of this stamp. And we're just putting washi tape over. I like to run my washi tape down onto the block to help hold it in place so that it doesn't shift. And then just going very carefully over there. And then over the bottom part as well. Okay, so now we've got all the other words masked off except for the word grateful. Now the thing is, I've got to remember after I ink this to take the washi tape off before I stamp it onto my cardstock. Ask me how I know that. Okay, we are going to be using some, I was going to use Rococo, but I think I'm going to go with, so we're stamping onto our Whisper White, and then we're going to be die cutting that. Let me grab my other ink. We're going to use some Rich Razzleberry, I think. So grab some Rich Razzleberry. Actually, it wasn't Rich Razzleberry I was going to use. It was Merry Merlot. But you know what? I think I might try this one first. And Merry Merlot I forgot to grab out as well. I had them ready to go. Whoops. There goes my iPad. So I'll stamp one in both of those colours and I'll just see which one I like better. So I've got a couple of scraps here. Let me use this one. Then I've got 2. So we'll have to mask a second time. Go with this one first, actually. We're going with the Rich Razzleberry first. All right, so we ink that up. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit messy. So you can see I've got the word grateful. If I turn it up that way, you can see it. So we've got that inked up. Now we want that ink to stay wet, so we have to work fairly quickly. If we pull that first piece we put down, it should help to lift the others off. And we take those off, pop them in the bin, and then we just stamp our word grateful. Oh, look at that. I didn't mask that well because I've got a little bit of the extra colour there. I mustn't have had the masking quite high enough. All right, so let's just go again. That's okay. I've got plenty of cardstock to play with. So just give that a little clean and a dry, so we make sure that washi tape will stick. Let's do that again. But I do like that colour. Actually, I'm going to put the Merry Merlot away. I'm not going to use Merry Merlot. We are using Rich Raspberry. Find the end of that tape again. All right, and we'll go over this way first. Yeah, so you've got to try and get it as close to the word that you want as possible, but without actually going over that word. That one's better. Okay, let me see. Oh yes, I can see I haven't got quite enough just there in the middle. So I'll break off a little short piece and pop another piece in there, and I'm just going to snip that actually. I'll just snip that there, and just having another look at that up close to make sure, and just tucking it in underneath that F. And we can even pop an extra little piece over here. So just have a really close look at it. Great to have, great to be doing this in really good light so you can see where you're masking. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll try that and see how we go with that one this time. Okay, I think that's better. Let's see, we'll stamp it down and we'll see. Just being careful not to get your fingers too inky, but I do have my baby wipes nearby if need be. Oh, that's better. Great, awesome, look at that. Good, good, good. Yes, so I just needed that little bit of extra washi tape and just a little bit higher. Okay, so while we are stamping, so we're going to die cut that in a moment. Oh, I'm getting hot now. Hot and flustered. Not really flustered, just hot. Okay, so with the next part of the sentiment, we are going to bring in our path of petals. So let me pop that one aside. And we're going to be using Versamark ink. And we're going to be using copper embossing powder. Oh, by the way, the copper embossing powder that we're using, that is also retiring. So look out for that as well if you love copper embossing powder. We won't be having copper embossing powder in our new catalogue. So it's available on the last chance products list, and it is $10.50. So look out for that. And these little pots, they look tiny, but they go a long, long way. They last for ages. In fact, I don't think I've even emptied one whole container yet. All right, so we'll pop that sentiment aside. I've got all these sticky notes here everywhere. Let me pop that back on there. On there. Okay. So we are going to be doing the same technique again, and this time we are using, where is it? Always finding joy. Oh yeah, there it is. We're just using this part of this stamp set that says always finding joy. Now this one is actually bigger. Where is it? There it is. It's a little bit bigger than what is shown on the front. So these images on the front are only shown at 80%. So you can see that this stamp set is actually, or this stamp I should say, is bigger than this one. Oh, you didn't notice, Sharon, that the copper was retiring? Yeah, make sure you get some if you love it. Okay, so I'm using my grid paper just to make sure that I get that nicely lined up. So I get that nice and straight, being that it's a photopolymer stamp set. And then I can line my block up with the grid paper as well. And that just helps me align everything. So the only part we want to use on there is always finding joy. And that's in cursive. So Yes, definitely. Definitely do it. So we're going to mask off the rest. Now the sentiments on here are a lot closer. In fact, I'm going to cut, not with those ones, with these ones, my tape scissors. I'm going to cut this one here because it's got a word right close to it. All right, there we go. So we'll mask off all of that, and I just am using my nail. I don't know if you can see, I'm just using my nail to push it down around that word that I'm masking off, just so that it doesn't get on there. And then just trying to get my head in under the camera and get that lined up. This one's a little bit tricky. I probably should have had this one masked up ready before I went live today, because it's a little bit trickier. It's not impossible, but it's just that the words are quite close because it's quite a small sentiment. So we will do our best to get that in there, and then just using my nail again around those lower cursive letters to make sure that that tape is going around those and not cutting them off. Okay, and we'll go over here, make sure I've got that. Oops, that's a bit low. I'm just holding that up so I can see a bit better, but also so you all can see what I'm doing. And then just use your nail to push that down. If you don't have nails, you could very carefully use your take your pick tool. In fact, probably the spatula end would be the best thing to do, because you can just use it to run along the edge there, and then you're not going to damage your stamp. If you use the pokey end, then you might actually damage your stamp. Okay, so that is a good tool. If you don't have a take your pick tool, that's another quite essential tool to have in your toolkit. And it's got different attachments. We've got stylus attachments as well. There's a die brush attachment for your intricate dies. And yeah, with a stylus tool, it has two sized styluses on it. All right, so we are going to be stamping this onto some cherry cobbler, not cherry cobbler, sorry, Merry Merlot. Actually, I've got a smaller scrap piece. Let's use that one. And we're going to be stamping it in Versamark ink, and then we're going to heat emboss it in copper. And I just realized I haven't yet plugged in my heat tool, so I'll quickly do that. Okay, that is good to go. Right, just moving my snips out of the way here. All right, so let's get all of this ready. So if any of you haven't seen me embossing before, oh, I just put my finger in that, not a good idea. I don't use any fancy embossing trays or anything like that. I do have one, but I find because it's plastic, it's quite staticky, and so the embossing powder tends to stick in it more, which I find annoying. So I just use copy paper, and I just have two sheets. So I use one sheet as a catcher sheet, and then I've got an extra sheet underneath as well as an additional catcher sheet. All right, so I'll just get that ready to go. All right, now we are just going to stamp our Always Finding Joy, and I'm going to stamp that down. Sorry, I know I'm working off to the right side. I'm going to stamp that down towards the bottom here because we're going to make a little banner. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't take my tape off, did I? Oh, let's do that again. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to lay down my embossing buddy, which is also retiring. The embossing buddies are retiring. Did everybody know that? If you don't already have an embossing buddy, grab one before they all go, because they are retiring. I just realized, Wendy, that I didn't use it. Every time, I always forget. All right, so let's ink that up again with our Versamark and remove our tape, and let's hope we got it well inked the first time, because that one was a fiddly one to cover up. In fact, I might keep those pieces of tape in case I need to do it again. So just be really careful getting that back off. All right, so let's go now with, we've done our embossing buddy, and we're going to just stamp this down the bottom. I might give myself a bit of room actually. Let's pop it down there. All right, oh, that looks okay, I think. And we'll just emboss that with a bit of gold. Give that a little tap with my brush. Check for any stray, no, all good because I used my embossing buddy. I didn't have any stray little grains of powder. And see, I just used the extra piece of paper underneath me so that when I create the funnel with this first piece and tip it in, I've got an additional catcher if I happen to miss the container so that it doesn't go on my work surface. I've been doing it that way forever. Well, I did have a tray for a while, as I said, but I didn't continue using it after a while because I found it more of an issue than anything. All right, so now I'm going to heat emboss that with my heat tool. Just might get rid of that tape out of the way so I don't get sticky. So I'll just heat that heat tool up. Don't forget to dust. With the embossing buddy, do you mean, Jenny? All right, so we'll just come in and heat that now. Actually, let me move my fingers up to the other corner. And we're just going to beautiful. There we go. That was as quick as that was. And that says always finding joy. It's a little bit harder to read on the darker colors, but you can still read it there. And I want it just to be subtle anyway because I want the grateful to be, you know, the standout. So, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to die cut the grateful with that little oval die from the Petal Labels dies. So I'll take that out. I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape. Where did that washi tape go? That's the other one. There it is. I'm going to pop a little bit of washi tape on there. Yes, it's annoying when the powder gets all over the desk and everything is gritty. I agree, Wendy. So I'm going to, now this little oval die, let me move that across for you. This little oval die is very fine. So it's a good idea to adhere it down to your project with some washi tape just to keep it in place because this one will move around because it's very fine. I haven't tried it with my magnetic plate actually. I haven't had my magnetic plate on for a little while. There we go. Okay, so we'll die cut that one and then I'll show you what we're going to do with this other one. So let me just run that through my die cutting machine. There we go. Okay, so there's our grateful. Yes, the embossing buddy, Jenny. I always forget, don't I? Every time I always forget. It's my class ladies, they always laugh at me because I'm always telling them, make sure you use your embossing buddy. And guess who is always the first one to forget? And it's not my class ladies. It's their demonstrator. It's only because for so many years I didn't have one. Now with this die, once you've cut it, make sure you put it straight back on your sheet so that you don't lose it because it's really tiny and fine and it's easy to lose. All right, now with this one, with the sentiment, so we've got our grateful. With this sentiment, we're just going to make a little banner. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to eyeball it basically. I'm having a look to see how much space is below the letters, and I'll use my eye just to estimate, you know, that above the same width above or same height above the letters. And then I'm just going to put a little pencil mark over here so that I know where to trim that, and I'm just going to trim that on my trimmer. So let me bring in my trimmer. I'll move that over there. And we'll just trim that up. I'll do it down at the bottom actually. So we'll trim that one up. There we go. So we've got that fairly centered top and bottom. And then for the end, I'm just going to again do the same thing. So I'm just working out roughly where that will be. Yeah, about there. Nothing scientific about it, just oh, I have to say actually today I need to take a bit more off this end now. Today, earlier today, I was playing some games of Yahtzee with my son. Mondays is his day off work, and oh sorry, I think I just bumped, oh actually I think I bumped the iPad, not the phone then. Yeah, so I was playing some games of Yahtzee with my son. We haven't played Yahtzee in years, and we just wanted to have a bit of hangout time and spend some time together. And oh my goodness, my brain was not working with the maths. I had to keep on getting him to double check my calculations, and they're simple calculations. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So I really am on holidays, because those of you that don't know, I am actually on long service leave at the moment from my usual day job. But yeah, I think my brain has actually gone on holidays too. Well, in terms of maths. So it was quite funny. I kept laughing at myself. All right, so we've got our little sentiment. Now I am just going to banner the edges there. So let me grab, now I've moved all my punches. And I have to find, oh, that's right. Yes, I moved it down the bottom here. I'm going to use my, oh, you're very welcome. I'm going to use my triple banner punch to just nip out the edges, the ends, I should say, of my banner. So I'm going to flip this over and just slide that in and just use my eye again to line up. And what I'm doing, I'll show you up near the camera. See where you've got the two sides, or the top and the bottom. I'm basically just lining them up just so that they look straight in line with that cutting edge. Sometimes this works for me, and sometimes, or most of the times it does. There we go. So that's not too bad. That's in the middle. Sometimes I don't line it up so well and then it's not in the middle, but I'm doing okay today so far. Let's just see. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. So we've got our little banner there. I'll pop that back. Oh wait, we rearranged all my punches the other day because of taking out the retiring ones and making space for the new ones that are coming. And so yeah, so my big ones, my big label ones, I put down the bottom here. So that's why I couldn't find it, because I forgot where it was. All right, so we've got that done there. How are we going for time? Oh, it's already nearly 5:30. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay my little grateful sentiment in my my little frame there, and I'm just going to use some snail adhesive for that one. Again, if you're using your tear and tape, you can just use your tear and tape for that. I'm just going to use a little bit of snail because it's quicker, and this doesn't need a really heavy stick as such, like the tear and tape. The other thing is to, when you are adhering onto foil sheet, whether it be gold or silver or copper or whatever, just be really careful if you're using liquid glue, because if you are using liquid glue and it oozes out, or you're repositioning and you have a bit of over gluing, you will actually see it on the foil. So that's why when taping down onto the foil, I prefer to use the tape or the snail. All right. Oh, the other thing is too, just to let you know, snail adhesive is also retiring. There's going to be a brand new product replacing it. But if you love snail and you want to get some snail or some refill for your snail, make sure you grab that soon too. And I didn't actually check today if it's still available or if it's all gone. But again, that's another product that's retiring, which yeah, I really love the snail. So yes, so that's a bit sad. But anyway, there will be another new product that we will get used to. So we'll see. Hopefully it will be, apparently it's stronger. So that will be good. Okay, so what am I looking for now? Oh, my take your pick tool. I'm just going to put some, not that one, this one. I want the pokey pokey tool. I'm going to put some dimensionals onto the back of my label now. All right, we'll just have 3. Now before I adhere that, make sure I do it up the right way. I'll work out exactly where I want to have this, because this little label is going to be adhered underneath that. And in fact, I'm going to do that first before I attach it. And then we'll work out how much space we've got. So this one is just going to be stuck flat. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive. I might use a bit of tear and tape this time for this one, just in the middle there. So I want to make sure this sticks really well. Okay, so we're just going to attach that label. Have I got that up the right way? I had it upside down. Oh my goodness. Lucky I checked, because it's cursive and it's quite fine. Now I've got the tape in the wrong spot. I'm just rolling that back off. Lucky I checked before I stuck that down then. The lighting in here at the moment is not too good, because the sun has gone down, and that's right, it goes that way. And so I'm just working under my lamps at the moment, because the room light's not very strong either. I would love to get some down lights in here actually, but because I'm on the bottom floor, it's not really possible now. Anyway, that's okay. We'll work with what we've got. All right, so I'm going to just pop that down there. I'll just hold that still. Oh, hopefully I'll get this straight. And we'll just pop that down on the sentiment there. Yep, good. And now we can work out where we want to have that. So I was thinking about putting it over here. And we've got the flower up there. And then that way you've got, yeah, I think I like it down in that corner there. All right, so then we'll take those dimensionals off the back. And we'll pop that down just up a little bit there, so that we can see a little bit of that paper popping out from underneath there. Awesome. Now we haven't attached our flower yet. We need to attach our flower. So I think I'm just going to leave the flower up there where I had it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of, well, because it's on cardstock, you could really use anything, but I still want it to have that dimension where it's sitting up. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow glue this time. So I'm using quite a few different adhesives today, aren't I? Although I think I usually do use quite a few different ones, don't I? And then we're just going to pop that up there in the corner. And with the liquid glue, of course, you've got room to wiggle that around a little bit, but I want to see a little bit of the paper coming out from the corner there. So I just want it in from the corner. There we go. I think that's, oh, one other thing is we do have our designer elements, which I showed you before, which are, oh, thank you, Fee. Great. So the snail, Fee just checked for us. The snail adhesive and the refills are still available. So make sure that you get those. Oh, that's okay, Wendy. No problem. No problem at all. Thank you. Yeah, so we've got these little sentiments, these little elements as well. And I'm just not sure if we need them actually, because we've got so much else going on this. Let me just have a look and see. I'll just take one of the little copper ones off. And I'll have a look and just see. They do make great gifts, Julie. And remember, Mother's Day is coming up. So you could use them for a Mother's Day gift. Now we could put a couple of these here and there actually. They would probably work. Let's put a couple of these on. Oop. Let's put a couple of those on just to add a little bit of extra bling. I'll add them in those little white spaces so that they're visible. And then we could even put probably a third one. Maybe we could put a third one down here, or over here in the corner would be good actually. There we go. Great. So there you have it. In fact, if I had have thought about it, they would have looked great on all the corners. So top and bottom. I wonder if I could move that one now. Probably won't see it now. I think my flower is a bit high. Oh no, it's stuck. It's stuck well and truly. I won't move it. But it would look really good up on the corners as well. Actually, those two corners would have looked great, and then the flower just in a little bit more. But I've stuck all that down now. But yeah, so there you go. So that is my project for today. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, so I might even give this one to my mother-in-law for Mother's Day, because she loves writing in little journals and it's just so beautiful. For my friend that I made the blue one for, the one that I cased out of the catalogue, I decorated up some of these other pages for her as well through the book, just with some added little sentiments and some little personal messages for her too. So you certainly could do that as well if you wanted to, or you can just leave them blank. But they're gorgeous textures in this little book. They're just a really great little notebook. I'm sad to see them going because they're really beautiful. But yeah, I hope you all really enjoyed that. And remember, if you need any of those supplies, thanks Shaz. So if you need any of those supplies and you don't already have a demonstrator that you're working with, please feel free to go to my online store. You can go to mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com and click on the shop tab up on the top left hand side. That'll take you straight through to my online store. And remember, when you're shopping with me, to use my host code so that I can send you a thank you gift. So I won't bother trying to flip the camera back up again because it's so clunky at the moment, as we know. And so, well, actually, you know what? I could take it off and just hold it rather than putting it back in my holder, just so I like to always say goodbye to you all face to face. So let me just do that. Just one moment. And I will take this off. Whew. There we go. Now, am I going to be up the right way? That's the question. I am, but my camera isn't. There we go. Oh, can you see how hot and sweaty I am now? That's gross. So anyway, oh, I'm glad that you learned a new technique, Chitska. That's awesome. Very good. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you all really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun making that. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, which is always great. So, well, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Again, if you've got any questions about anything, please feel free to get in contact with me and let me know. Let me just move this over here a little bit. That would be better angle. Yeah, so feel free to let me know if you have any questions about anything or if there's anything I can do to help you. Again, if you would like any information about joining Stampin' Up so that you can get these beautiful products at a discount, please let me know. I'd love to have you join my team. But I will leave it there for today, and I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. So stay safe, everyone, stay well, and happy crafting. Bye.